And I'd like to introduce Carrie, and I will say, Carrie, that's tough. Good morning. My name is Carrie Bowmaster, and I am from MidPenn Legal Services. At MidPenn, we see ourselves as sort of the emergency room. You've already heard numbers. There's one attorney in my office for every 12,500 people out there that are in the poverty level. We cannot obviously represent everybody, so we consider ourselves sort of like the emergency room. We triage and try to handle those cases that are the most serious. Everybody thinks of access to justice. It's been referred to many times, and that's what we are trying to do. Obviously, it's a larger scale than what we can actually do. The question on who is eligible, that is always a big question for people. Basically, anybody who is poor is eligible, as long as they're a citizen or a legal alien. We cannot represent individuals who are not here legally pursuant to our funding. Income is a very important part, and we've put together the guideline. We generally represent clients at 125% of poverty. If you look at the chart, we're talking about very low income levels, $14,000 for a household of one. If we think about it, what does $14,000 really buy? Not a whole lot. Qualifies them for a legal services attorney. We do have the ability to go up to 200%, but keep in mind, there's still 12,500 people for every one attorney. The types of services we offer: advice, representation, and education. Advice is where we meet with clients, we provide them with information about their case. Not every case has merit, is what we call it, to go to court. Sometimes clients just need some advice. For example, the client who hasn't been able to pay their rent and they're now being evicted. They need to know, how long can I stay in this home? We can't find them money. We don't have money to give them to pay their rent, but we can talk to them about what their options are and what they can do. Representation is pretty clear. Those are the cases where we actually go to court. We're there with them. We're helping them in the court setting. Education, items like this, where we're talking to groups of people. We also spend a lot of time educating our clients about other services that are available in the community. We work a lot with Access, HERC, the bar, the self-help center, and sometimes we just need to educate our clients on that. What types of cases do we handle? That's a big question that people ask all the time. We have had to put together priorities of types of things we can do. In the consumer area, we're looking at tax sales of residences, utility shutoffs, bankruptcies, improper sales of personal property, defensive collection lawsuits. There's lots more consumer areas that could be covered. Unfortunately, we're not able to help all of them. Housing, we cover evictions, both in the public and the private sector, public housing. We do manufactured home evictions, manufactured home park evictions, Section 8 terminations and admissions, mortgage foreclosures, HEMAP appeals. HEMAP is a program that's here in Pennsylvania to help homeowners keep their home. Sometimes they don't qualify and they need some additional help. Family law is one of the largest areas that we get requests for services. We do protection from abuse cases. That is the one area where we can represent anybody. No income guidelines, no citizenship requirements. So if you have clients that are in abuse situations, we do work with Access, and we also represent them in the courts. Custody is probably our next largest area. We get more requests for custody services than probably anything else, and we obviously can't represent every client. As you've heard, the bar and the foundation have given us money to have an attorney who focuses primarily on custody and PFAs. Public benefits is an area that basically is a legal services area. There are not very many private attorneys who would handle a public benefits case. So we handle both denials, terminations, reductions, and overpayments of all the public benefits that you can think of. Cash assistance, medical assistance, food stamps, or SNAP as they're now called, LIHEAP, subsidized child care are just some of the areas. Employment law, we cover unemployment compensation cases, which is very important because often these are the people who have been working and now suddenly they find themselves without a job. If they're not receiving unemployment benefits, they're not able to continue. We do have some special projects. Oh, my slides are a little messy. Let me back up. This shows you a breakdown on the different categories that I've just talked about. As you can see from looking at this category, family law, when you add in the protection from abuse, is our largest, with housing being our next largest. Now, we do have special projects. One of those projects, through our state funder plan, allows us to do other barriers to employment, which includes expungements, wage claims, license suspensions. So we, besides the funding that we get, we also look for special funding. We do have special funding to do the mortgage foreclosure cases, and we routinely do those at a much higher level. We do disability advocacy. In York, we primarily do overpayments and reduction of benefits. We don't actually handle the disability cases themselves. Elder law, we work in conjunction with the area of aging here in York, and we handle cases for individuals who are elderly. Generally, those are powers of attorney and wills, but often we've had some consumer cases and some other cases. You're right, I'm out of time. Because we do receive so many requests for services, we handle pro se clinics. We primarily do those in the custody arena. This is where we have attorneys who come in and meet with our clients and give them advice. They don't represent them past that day, but they give them advice. Sometimes the advice is, hey, this is not the appropriate time to be filing, and sometimes it's helping them fill out the paperwork. You've already heard from Laura about pro bono and what we do there with the screening and passing cases on into the pro bono area. These are all of our different funders. These are the different places that we receive funding. We receive it from the federal, the state, and then locally. Our address, and you can find us on Facebook and our website, and we now have a Twitter account. Thank you.